Hello, welcome to the home of the Ghost Owl. Now we've got 3 episodes left to do in our Bretonnia faction focus in Warhammer the Old World, and today we're going to be looking at a sample army list, 2,500 points, which is my go-to sort of points value, which I think it just fits really nicely with the rule set and everything else, and the way that the armies play and interact, and the sort of the limitations placed on armies. I just think this is a really good points value. This is not a competitive army list. It's not built around meta. We've talked about some of the more competitive things as we've gone through the faction focus, and you'll see that when we're looking at some of the builds for the characters. This is just designed to be fun, and each list will have a slight theme to it. So let's take a look at this one and see how it pans out. But it's not supposed to be ultra competitive. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to hold its own in pickup games, local clubs, stores, that sort of thing. Friends at home, not your tournament list. So first up, characters. So we've got our Duke on Hippogriff. He comes with barding, a lance, shield. He's got the Grail Vow, and he's taking the virtue of heroism. So with that, he's gaining Killing Blow and Monster Slayer. So when you look at this, your Duke, he's going to be running around on his own because he can't join a unit. So you've got to be careful how you use him, but he's going to be pretty decent at getting in there. Magical attacks and stuff with the Grail Vow. He's going to be stubborn. He's going to be immune to psychology. So getting the most out of him. But we've not gone crazy. We've not tooled him up with tons of different stuff and made him this ultimate machine. It's more about getting the most out of the Hippogriff. And he will do well going after, say, the Monster Slayer and the Killing Blow, but also going after some of those infantry units as well. We've got our default level 4, level 2 combos. We've got a Prophetess in there, level 4 with Silver Mirror. Elementalism or Illusion, depending how you want to run it. Elementalism can work quite well, but Illusion, don't forget the Miasmic Mirage, that's also very good. But in this case, I've got Elementalism. And then Damsel, along with the Battle Magic, level 2, and using the Wizard Staff. So that's a total of 686 points of a maximum of 1,250. Right, so taking a look at our core then, we've got 2 units of Peasant Bowmen. You're going to have the Damsel in one of those units of Peasant Bowmen. The Prophetess will go in the unit of the Men-at-Arms. So your Peasant Bowmen here, 2 units of 20. One of them gets a full command group. One of them couldn't afford a full command group, so they've ditched the Standard Bearer. And you'll notice we're not taking any stakes or anything like that. Then we're going to take 20 Knights of the Realm on foot and 20 Men-at-Arms. So in terms of this theme of army list, this is actually one that is more focused on infantry, which is a less traditional Bretonnia list. So you've got your bowmen in there, you've got your 2 big blocks of infantry, and we're going to be supported with cavalry elsewhere. So, and to round that off in the core section, we've got 10 mounted Knights of the Realm. So if you imagine 2 big blocks of infantry, reasonably centre of the army, you've got peasant bowmen supporting them behind, you've got magic support in the centre there as well, and then you've got your Knights of the Realm and other units will be operating around the flanks, so that when those big blocks of infantry do get engaged, they've got immediate support from the heavy cavalry. Total core there is 832. We need a minimum of 625. So we're actually well over in terms of core, but I don't mind that so much with these mounted Knights of the Realm. And I say this is not a complete min-max list. It's supposed to be fun and also attainable quite easily in terms of the numbers. So we've not min-maxed the numbers for certain frontages or anything like that. So it's not like we've gone for must be 7 wide, 3 deep, etc. It's more about how many do you get in a box? How many do you get in a Bretonnia starter box? So you've got nice round numbers in there just to make it easy, so you're not having to buy, I need to buy a box of 20, but I only need 2 models out of that box of 20 to make my min-max. Not built like that. Okay, so we look at the special category. We're taking 10 Pegasus Knights, the full command group and the Rampaging Banner. Total points of 381 out of 1,250 available. 10 Pegasus Knights, so that's a sizable number of Pegasus Knights. So you've got your infantry blocks, you've got your Knights of the Realm on one flank, you're going to see you're going to have Grail Knights on the other, and you've got your Pegasus Knights flying around and being able to go where they're most needed, because the army is less manoeuvrable than a traditional Bretonnian army, which is more heavy on the cavalry, because those infantry blocks just don't move as quickly. So having the Pegasus Knights as a sizable block able to move around the battlefield is really, really helpful. That brings us into the final bit, which is the rare category. So we're taking one field trebuchet, and I think a field trebuchet is actually valid in this case. So it's an okay war machine. You've got the slow-moving infantry in the middle, supported by the archers. So having that trebuchet there to put in some hurt on potentially those enemy infantry units, because let's face it, Bretonnian infantry is not the best. The Knights of the Realm will be okay, but the men-at-arms are going to need some support. So if you're able to weaken the army before they get there, shooting them, that's really, really going to help. And then 12 Grail Knights, gone for as much as we can with a full command group and the Banner of Chalons. That takes us to 597 of the 625 available. I love Grail Knights. I think they're great. This is a really hard-hitting unit. Put them in lance formation, and the thing you've got here is the Banner of Chalons. You could swap that out with the Rampaging Banner with the Pegasus Knights, depending how you want to play. There may be value in that, particularly if you would think you're going to go up against an army that has lots of missile troops at the back. But the Grail Knights, I envisage them coming hard down a flank, breaking through the flank, coming into the rear areas. Whereas the Pegasus Knights, I think in this case, are going to be much less chasing rear echelon units as really supporting the infantry, getting those flank and rear charges in, because they will be needed. And that brings us to a total of 2,496 points out of the total 2,500. So as I said, this is a sample army list to have some fun with, to play pickup games with, not to take to tournaments. But I think it's got a nice theme around. This would be sort of almost a traditional Bretonnian army you might see in the lore. You've got your peasants in there that kind of make up your lord's army. You've got your knights, which are a lot rarer. You've got a few Pegasus Knights flying around. So kind of a bit more of an all arms style list. Hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Let me know why in the comments down below. And let me know your thoughts on this army list in the comments down below. But like I say, please bear in mind, on the previous ones I've had people going, well, this is not optimal and that's not optimal. It's not designed to be optimal. It's designed to be fun and a bit themey. So please let me know what you think. Please hit the subscribe button as well. It's totally free to do. It takes a few seconds. It's really important for me. You've been watching The Ghost Hour. Tune back in as we look at our second sample army list, which is a slightly different theme to it.